Around 1 in 4 players are ranked bronze, but this is actually quite an easy rank to get out of. If you're HARDSTUCK bronze and want to get out, then follow the 5 tips I have for you in this video and you'll have no problem ranking up. My first tip is that you should learn how to deal with toxic and bad teammates as early as possible. Most times I hear people complain, they tend to always mention either bad teammates, how they're top fragging every game, or how they always happen to end up with trolls or against smurfs. Now don't get me wrong, all these things will happen to you in ranked, but you just need to learn how to deal with them. No matter if you're bronze or immortal, you're guaranteed to sometimes get a bad roll of the dice, and that goes for everyone. So how come other people can get out of bronze, but not you? The truth is that so long as you have the mindset of, I'm not the problem, then you'll never improve and rank up. If you're truly never the issue in your games, then you will rank up. It's not a matter of how or if, it's a matter of when. So you should learn how to deal with bad teammates when you get them, but you should also remember that it's only you who controls which rank you are and not your teammates. So instead of seeing your team as the problem, see yourself as the problem and you'll see yourself improving way faster. My second tip is to stop caring about minor things. These are both things that you can't control, such as your teammates, but also things like the best crosshair, sensitivity, wallbangs, etc. If you take all your energy spent on trying to figure all these things out and instead put it towards improving on the fundamentals, that is your aim, movement, game sense, etc., then you'll improve way faster. You really don't need to worry at all about these minor issues in bronze. As long as you have a good learning mindset where you try to improve on the most important areas of the game, then you should have no problems at all getting out of bronze. I just mentioned a learning mindset, and this is my third tip. A learning mindset is something that's super important to have, as you always want to be trying to improve. But many people do this wrong and input too much without any output. What I mean by this is watching pro players, Valorant tips videos, etc. without actually doing the stuff that you're seeing and hearing. Watching one Valorant guide and actually applying the information will be more beneficial than watching 10 guides and not really applying any of the tips in game. This issue is something that I call information overload, and it's where you become obsessed with learning to the point where you take in so much information that you actually end up applying pretty much none of it. A simple solution to this is that you only watch one or a few videos at a time and then instantly get in game and do the tips that's said in the video. If someone tells you to download the NameLab playlist and play through it every day, then just do that instead of telling yourself that you're gonna do it but never actually getting around to it. If you're gonna take away one thing from this video, then I want this to be the one. It's such a common mistake, but it's easily fixed and you will improve way faster when you stop doing it. Tip 4 is that you should learn the different types of peeking and when each one is optimal. The main ones you'll use are wide peeking, jiggle peeking and shoulder peeking. Shoulder peeking is best used if you're suspecting that an enemy is holding your angle with an op, so you wanna bait them to shoot you and then you go for the kill. This is probably the best way to peek operators, as they usually take the shot, miss it and then you can get the kill freely. Jiggle peeking is good if you wanna peek an angle without fully committing. For example, peeking a site to get some info, but you don't want to get shot at by multiple enemies. And lastly is wide peeking. That is when you run out fully, which can be good for throwing off the enemy's aim and when you're pushing in someplace. All peeking styles have their own advantages and disadvantages, so try using them all to see what scenario best suits each one. Autopiloting is a problem that commonly occurs in low ranks. Simply put, this is when you play the game without any critical thinking at all. You peek and dive for no reason, use utility for no reason, etc. Something as simple as asking yourself why you do things will set you apart from the rest of bronze players. If you always try to have a reason for the decisions you make, then you'll soon start eliminating bad ones and building more good habits. I wouldn't worry about every small decision, but things such as when to buy and which gun to buy are things that bronze players generally don't seem to think about. The economy of Valorant is something that I could do a whole video on, but if you generally try to use some critical thinking before buying or not buying, then you'll make the better decision more times than not. When you ranked up from bronze, you might need some tips getting out of silver. I have a video on that on the screen right now. See you there.